Hmm? Ah!
You're listening to the Run for Your Lives podcast.
Hey everyone, welcome to the show. I'm Daphne.
And I'm Pake.
And this is the Run for Your Lives podcast.
This episode is the supernatural horror film Night of the Living Dead. Wait a minute. Hang on. I'm pretty sure we did this already, like last week. I'm pretty sure. Oh, wait. Let me continue. Directed by Tom Savini and released on October 19th, 1990. Ah, there it is. The remake.
Yes. Do you know, Pake, that it has been since October 2023 since we've done a double dip? It was Pet Sematary.
That's the last one we did?
Yeah, it's been ages. And so, yeah, this week we are doing a double dip. We are tackling the remake that Tom Savini made of George A. Romero's Night of the Living Dead.
Yeah, kind of a last-minute decision on the double dip. But it's for a number of reasons, but also just easy enough to do because I'm going to try to get out of here and go to the movie theater after this. Because as we record this, it's officially Death Race season. It is upon us. I've talked about it, every year when we do this. So for those who are newer listeners and stuff, Oscars Death Race. So when the Oscar nominations come out, I have we're recording this on the day that nominations came out. So I have from today till March 15th when the ceremony is to watch everything in every category. It's a full 50 films because that's the documentaries, the shorts, all of them. And hey, I did some good pre-gaming. 12 out of the 50 were already done before they were announced today, so a good start, but definitely going to be hitting the theaters as much as I can in the next week to try to get all of the ones that are still in theaters out of the way. So that's what I'm doing tonight. I'll be the only person in the entire theater, the room, I'm sure, watching Zootopia 2 at 9 o'clock at night, but that'll be me tonight.
Yes, I've been teasing you and Jeff. Yes, teasing Jeff and Pake. That doesn't happen very often. But I've been teasing you guys about it being your little Christmas because you've been counting down for the last 2 weeks to get to the announcement to know for sure. And I know that you guys have both been scouring the shortlist for what might get nominated so that you could kind of get ahead. Yeah. And we kind of called it way back when we did Sinners that it was and should be nominated
Sinners is
for
the
everything.
Highest nominated film of the year. It's got the most with 16, which is nuts, and I love that.
Yeah, well, you know what? It's not just the highest nominated of the year, Peg. It's the highest nominated ever. Mm-hmm. It's amazing. Now, maybe it will win a couple. Of course, I want it to win Best Picture. It probably won't, but I would like it to because I just really
That'd be great.
think
I think
it's
that'll
a
be my
fantastic film.
Pick, but I haven't seen everything in Best Picture yet, but a lot. But yeah, I'm excited to get to it. Also, what that means is you can likely look forward to those Oscar-nominated movies being covered on this podcast very, very soon, as in just the next few weeks. Although I don't think we have enough episodes left in this season to do all of them. So we'll see what happens. If you haven't seen it, because by the time you hear this, it'll be a couple weeks past. But if you go to our Facebook page or if you're in the Podcastica public group, I did post a little thing that maybe you can find. You'll easily find it on our Facebook page, the Run for Your Lives page, with just a place you can leave some comments and stuff, which ones do you guys want to see us do? The ones that are within our genre realm, even some that are maybe a little loose in there, but we still might cover. So, of course, that could be Frankenstein, Jurassic World Rebirth, The Ugly Stepsister, Begonia, K-Pop Demon Hunters. let us know which ones you'd like us to try to fit in this little few weeks that we've got before our season ends, that we could end our season with some Oscar noms.
Yeah, we did that. Was it last year? And did we do it the year before? Because I feel like we did. It with so. Society of the Snow was one, I think, that we did. And we've covered a couple already, I think. So
yes, Sinners and Weapons we've done, so you can go back and check those out.
Yeah, I'm excited for Sinners. I think very highly of that movie, of the director, of the acting, like all of it. I was just really impressed. And so I was happy to see the love that it got today when the announcement came down. So it's going to be a lot of fun. And yeah, I don't know which ones we're going to cover because we only have a few more episodes before we finish the season. But what better way to end your season than to have like the best movies of the year talked about. So I'm excited to see what we end up covering. Indeed. And please comment on Pake's post because that will drive the direction we go in. So go ahead and do that and give a little love to the dinosaurs because I was personally happy to see a little nomination for Jurassic World Rebirth. So I'm stoked for that.
Yeah.
So a little behind the scenes production notes information. Was filmed in Hopewell Township, Pittsburgh, Avella, and Washington, Pennsylvania. As we said, it's a remake of George A. Romero's 1968 film of the same name. It's the only official remake despite a bunch of Night of the Living Deads have been made, but they're not connected with Romero. They're not connected with that movie. This is the one that is. Tom Savini, who did special effects for Friday the 13th, as well as other Romero films, including Dawn of the Dead, Night Riders, and Day of the Dead, took the director's chair for this one. He was originally going to do special effects because he really wanted to be involved in this project because he had worked with George on Day of the Dead and Dawn of the Dead and Night Riders, and he wanted to have some connection to that original movie, the one that started it all. So he wasn't the original director. He just stepped in. This is the horror movie debut for the amazing, may he rest in peace, Tony Todd, which surprised me because for some reason I thought Candyman came out before this one, but it did not. The budget was $4.2 million. It grossed $5.8 million at the box office, 92 minutes long. Peg, there is no synopsis.
Oh, there's not? Okay. This one has
Do you
no
have
synopsis. One? I mean, I have IMDb pulled up, but I could also just say, like, did you listen to last week's episode? Because it's that. But well, the official one, yeah. When the unburied dead return to life and seek human victims. 7 refugees. Is it 7? I'm going to take it for... I'm not going to count them. Shelter in a house in the Pennsylvanian countryside. Sounds right.
Yep, it is. There were 7.
Yeah.
About the same thing.
About the same thing, because I remember I hadn't seen this version of it. And I remember last week and over this week before we did this one, you were like, oh, it's a very different Night of the Living Dead. And I don't know. The way you said it was a very different, I was like, no, it seems like a pretty exact remake plot-wise. Like, they've changed a few things, but wasn't wildly different. It was...
I think that they changed important things, which they made Barbara much more tough, and she wasn't, like...
That was the biggest change,
catatonic.
Sure. Like, which changes the ending of the movie pretty drastically. But for the most part, other than that, like, it's a beat-by-beat remake of the major plot points. Yeah, but I think the big thing is Barbara being very different, and I'm okay with that. Like, I feel like love that version. But yeah, no, I agree. That is one of the things I really do like, is the way that they changed Barbara's character and storyline. I think Patricia Tallman's take on it is much better and much more fun to watch. Not to, like, disrespect or, like, say, you know, put down Romero's original story or, like, vision, but I do like this one better, and I think it's nice to watch them back to back and be like, oh, that's a Barbara I can really root for. Like, yeah, and it wasn't like, oh, she's tough from the beginning. It kind of builds, like, throughout the movie, because she's
she's traumatized, but she uses that to fuel her into this stronger person who can take care of herself versus someone who's catatonic sitting on the couch.
Yeah.
And I appreciated that. Staring at doilies. Oh my God. There's a new band name for you.
Mm-hmm.
Add that to the list.
Well, I will right now. It's
You
going.
really,
Why
you
not?
really did.
Because there's so many that I say and then I don't. So I'm gonna throw it. It's gonna go. What's the last one I did? So it's gonna go right under citrus nasal experience. All right.
Oh my gosh. You need to remember to add them when you come up with them or when we say them, because it's entertaining, at least. You don't want to lose those.
And the greatest part about this whole long list is because I don't put the context on any of them, so don't know what any of the, even citrus nasal experience I think I added like a week ago. I already forgot what that was about, but it's there.
I said something that you used or you were going to write down, but I don't even remember what that was. It was like a week or two ago, and it wasn't citrus nasal experience.
Mm-mm. No, I remember saying, we'll claim that band name. I think it was during a Kids on Bikes session, but I never wrote it down, so it's gone forever, whatever it was.
No, it isn't, and I'm going to find it, and you're going to add it, because that's how it's going to be. We didn't have Ben punching her in the face, which made me very happy.
Mm-hmm. Me too. I definitely have a note about that, which we'll get to, because again, I didn't compile anything. I'm just leaving it. I was like, we did the original that way, so we're going to stick with it and just chronologically go through and not break it down by character. Because we did the first one, the original, so we'll do that this one that way too.
Well, Tom Savini had a difficult time directing this movie because when George Romero wasn't there, he had trouble with the producers who wouldn't let him explore what he was envisioning for the movie as much as he wanted to. And then later, to avoid getting an X rating, he had to cut scenes that he didn't want to cut. And he felt that really negatively affected people's reaction to the movie. And I'm like, I want the Savini cut. And so it must exist somewhere, so I'm going to have to go find it. I feel like if it's not, then it needs to exist. They kept the special effects very minimal, like not over the top, because they were really trying to respect Romero's vision in the original movie. So I think too that one of the reasons why Romero wanted to do this in the first place is they had some issues over the profits from the first one and the distributor and copyright and all of that. And so he took him to court, and by the time he got, a judgment in his favor, the distributor went out of business and he couldn't get any money. I really like this one, mostly because it kept a lot of the same things from the first one, but it also, for me, seeing Barbara become this tough girl made me love it more. But it also, to me, is indicative of the times. No, I mean, the times were different. Like, back in the 60s, we talked about this. Women were not counted on to do anything, really, in movies, other than be crying or catatonic or making dinner or just auxiliary, really, secondary. And then we started seeing the final girl trope, which, Friday the 13th and Nightmare on Elm Street. So by the time this movie came out, the idea of having a woman survive till the end was not such a foreign concept. And have her be badass and have the best aim of any of them, really, just made it even better.
Yeah.
So I like that it kept the simplicity of the original, but it also amped a few things up. It couldn't rely on black and white, to add mystery to it. And Savini originally wanted to start it in black and white and have it like color gradually come into it over the whole film. And that could have been interesting. Yeah, I wonder what it would have been like if he'd been able to get away with what he wanted to. You know, what didn't he film because he couldn't film? Because he was getting, pushback. So, yeah. I'm wondering how different it would have been. And I'm wondering whose idea it was to change Barbara in this way. I mean, Romero must have supported it because he was involved with the production of this movie.
Oh, absolutely, yeah.
Yeah.
It wouldn't surprise me at all if he was.
So, you know what? We meet Barbara and Johnny very much the same way that we met them in the first movie when they're driving to the cemetery.
Yeah. I like that starting the movie off, they're coming to get you, Barbara, as the first line of dialogue in the whole movie. Love that. Because it wasn't the first in the original. There's a little bit of banter in the car, and then, that kind of comes out whenever they get into the cemetery. And he does it twice. They really have to nail that one. Remember? Remember that line? Pepperidge Farm remembers. But...
Yeah. Yeah.
There's a few of those that they had to pull an exact line or iconic thing from the original. It was like we keeping that line in because it's just people love it and it's iconic. There's a few more of those. I know for sure. You're the boss down there, I'm boss up here from Ben was kept in. Of course, even though we don't see him any other time throughout the movie, they shoehorned in a random chief in an eye patch just so he could... They slow-moving chief? Yeah, they're dead. They're all messed up. He didn't deliver it exactly the same, but it's almost. It was close.
Yeah, do you know who played that sheriff?
Little change in intonation.
Russell Steiner, who played Johnny in the first movie.
Okay, that's
he sounded very close to the guy who played the sheriff in the first movie, so I was kind of like, wow.
Yeah.
That's incredibly close there. Yeah. They may have had those lines, but they also had some funny ones and some new ones, such as Johnny's line about the dead. They're horny, Barbara. They've been dead a long time. And I forgot that line, and it just made me laugh. Because it's just not something you would have heard in the 1968 version. It would not have been allowed.
There's a lot of things you wouldn't have heard in the 1968 version, like, you motherfucker! But that's another... There's a lot of F-bombs in this movie that we didn't get in the 68 version, that's for sure. A lot more explicit language.
I didn't think it took away from it. I thought it was fine.
No, not at all.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was a very, very similar opening. Few differences. Johnny is actively more of a jerk in this version. It's their mother that died instead of their father, and this is more than a yearly visit. It seems to be a monthly kind of thing. Paraphrasing a little bit, but I just didn't feel like rewinding it and getting the exact quote, but I felt like I remembered most of it. Where he says, this is the fourth time I've been up here in the last 3 months since she died. I've seen her more now than she was alive.
Again, it's this obligation. And it's Barbara's fault that he's blaming Barbara for the obligation to keep going. And I'm like, yeah, I kind of get it.
Yeah.
He said that, she's buried 200 miles from the nearest glass of beer. And that just made me laugh, too. I'm like, he's just funny. And Bill Moseley, who most people will know from The Devil's Rejects.
Yes.
I think he did a great job as Johnny. Yeah. Even though, Johnny is a character you only really see for 3 minutes of the movie. After that, he's gone. And I think his demise was, it wasn't inferred. You saw his head, he was gone.
Oh, they made it much more clear that Johnny hit his head. They gave him a platform higher than a centimeter off the ground to really make it clear. Yeah, that was good. They did change up little things and fixed, I guess, fixed some of those things that I kind of pointed at, and then also I think they made this one with fans of the original in mind, of changing just certain things. the first, the old man that comes up behind Barbara and was like, here comes one now, he's coming at you. And you're like, okay, we've seen this, we know what it is. And then making him actually a living person, and he's like walking up to them like, I'm sorry. I don't know what he's apologizing to. Did he create it? He started the whole thing. He's patient zero, even though he's not even a zombie yet. No, but just the nice little fake out of like you thinking he's a zombie, and then he starts talking, and then he wanders off, and then boom, zombie jump scare out of nowhere. That's the actual real one. Yeah.
And then he's after Barbara instead of like fighting with Johnny at first, and then Johnny kind of takes over, which is a little bit different from the first one. Still, she goes to the car. It's the same thing.
They did make her hitting the tree, rolling down in the car, look like less of a purposeful action. So there's that. Fix that one a little bit.
Also, when she gets to the house and there's all the taxidermy, it's not like these shot. It was just shot different. It wasn't shot like trying to.
Like, she's still looking at him kind of weirded out, but it wasn't like, oh my god, the most terrifying thing I've ever seen. Yeah, a lot of things that were different. And then a lot of stuff the same, but I was like, as for the stuff that's the same, I don't really need to break any of that down, because we did that last week, so listen to that.
I like how Ben just kind of swoops in, and it just seemed different to me.
Yeah, his arrival comes
a little sooner.
A little more dramatic than the original. I enjoyed that. It's a good, hit the zombie with a truck entrance, which is fun. And then he steps out, and you're like, oh, just give me a big old hell yeah for Mr. Tony Todd. Let's go.
I know.
Yeah.
May he rest in peace. Again, this is his first horror movie, and I cannot believe it.
And then he went on to do so much, like...
I know. Final Destination, Candyman. I mean, he just did so many things that it's amazing, honestly, to look at his career and see what he's done. And I actually went to look it up because I didn't trust what I was reading. I'm like, no, this couldn't possibly have been the first one. But it was, for sure.
Yeah, and even like the zombies and bodies that were in the house were done a little bit differently. So she finds the harm house. It becomes a harm house. There's a lot of harm going on in there. The farmhouse seemingly empty, but then we find out is Uncle Reg, but the upstairs zombie that gives her a hand by letting her know that somebody is in fact there who can drop in on her.
Yeah, and then Cousin Satchel.
Yeah, no, Uncle Reg and Cousin Satchel. Those are definitely names.
Yeah,
that's fun. Which is another kind of like fun thing, different, which we'll get to, like, Tom and Harry and all of that stuff. But yeah, the fact that this was like Tom's, that home belonged to his family, that this was his uncle and cousin's house, that they were coming in. I guess his uncle had just died, so they were coming in to like help and visit and check in on that, and that's when everything came in. So I guess he was then, after Satchel is gone, then I guess at least Judy Rose, it's not just Judy, it's Judy Rose this time, feels like, I don't know what the actual legality or if there's paperwork involved, but she seems convinced that now that Reg and Satchel are dead, that this house now belongs to Tom.
You know what? I think she's got a point. Who knows if there are any other next of kin still alive?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, probably not.
Tom is there. Yeah. I don't blame her for wanting to kick people out, especially Harry. He was just as big, if not bigger, of a pain in the ass in this one as he was in the last one.
Oh, definitely more.
He was just, chauvinistic. And I like that the Helen that we had in this one, her character, even though she did seem to listen to him at first, she was, like, not having it.
You see her get more and more fed up with his bullshit throughout the movie.
Yes, I liked it. I'm like, yes, thank you. We need that.
Yeah, and then with Uncle Reg, as Ben comes in, then with the fire poker in hand, you're already seeing this Barbara is much less useless to the cause. We still have that moment, like, she does kill that zombie, but then even after that, when Ben's trying to talk to her, like, she still can't speak and gets kind of shell-shocked. Like, they throw that in there, but then you see her snap out of it and start this like character arc of like actual growth of like going from like afraid and wanting Ben to kind of take care of things, just standing back, and then realizing, no, I need to help and be involved. And then she starts seeing Ben. As much as Ben is a great character, once he's hot-headed as well, and as soon as Harry is in the mix, Ben is just as childish and like
he is
impulsive as he is. And so she has to step up and go, okay, well, while you're up, I like her line. I'm jumping way ahead, but we'll come back to it. But it fits. So you could talk to me about losing it when you stop screaming at each other like a bunch of 2-year-olds.
I wrote that down too.
Yeah.
She calls them out on the bullshit. And I like that because it's necessary. Because they're just squabbling the entire time because they each think they're right. And I think they are right. But honestly, I don't want to say this because it's at the end of the movie, but honestly, why the fuck didn't they go to the attic in the first place?
Yeah.
I mean, really, truly, what on earth?
Attics are, usually a good place. We don't have to do things in specific order. I do it in that way so I don't get lost in my notes. But if I know there's a note that fits, I'll go with it. Because, with Harry cellar-obsessed Cooper, he does find a new love by the end of the movie, the attic, which is nice. And we kind of switch off because Ben stumbles his way to the cellar instead while the house is filling with zombies. Barbara's taken off. She comes across the Tom and Judy buffet. We've seen, a lot of that's kind of the same there. But
and Barbara was right, really, from the beginning, that they could get by them and they could get away even on foot.
Yeah. Yeah, she's just... I do really like that it's a big difference that I think was a huge, important difference is, that Barbara is the badass fighter who, when she realizes what everybody else is up to, she's like, no, okay, I'm going to take charge. I'm going to take action and we're going to get shit done.
Yep. And she's a surprisingly great shot.
Oh, incredible shot. I meant to write is a hell of a shot, but I realized in my notes it auto-corrected to a shell of a shot, which is still fun, and I will take it.
Ben knew enough about hitting them in the head, like that being the way to take them out.
Mm-hmm.
And there was a point where I think it was Harry, being a horse's ass as usual. She's just shooting at the zombie trying to come in, saying, "Is he dead? Is he dead? Do you think is he dead?" And then she shoots him in the head, like, yeah, he's dead. Now he's dead.
Yeah.
Because she was trying to prove a point because, again, I feel like people didn't take it seriously. Like they didn't, I don't know. Maybe they just didn't realize exactly what was happening. But we also didn't have, there were some things I missed. I really liked that in the first one we had that radio announcer, like in the background telling things. We really only had the TV this time.
For a brief moment.
For a brief moment.
Not even, the TV doesn't even last.
Yeah, until Harry and Ben decide to have a fight over the TV, and there's a temper tantrum, and the TV goes rolling down the stairs. Unusable.
Yeah. But yeah, there's a lot of those plot points the same, like I mentioned. I mean, Barbara does get into gear and snap out of it pretty fast, which is nice, but we still have we have Ben's truck, it's low on gas, they're talking about the fuel pump, her car should get used because Johnny has the keys, and who knows where Johnny is. So it's that kind of same situation, and they're like, well, we can go to the gas, but first let's wait in the house, see if help comes, we'll wait it out. And then that's where Harry and Tom show up. So a lot of those beats are still done. We do get also like kind of their conversation, but it's less chaotic, less, hysterical a little bit. But Ben giving the idea of like how he knows certain things that he knows, like he's talking about all of the shit that he has seen and what's going on and complaining about nobody knows what's actually happening, how to deal with it, while Barbara's in the living room playing zombie hand golf.
Yes. That's a new game. Yep. They're making an electronic version, too, that we can play on the Nintendo Switch.
Yes.
So excited for it.
Yeah, they get Uncle Regis' body snug in a rug, clear it out of the house, just cleaning stuff up.
I think Ben was impressed that she did that, like got him rolled into that carpet and was ready to get him out of the house.
Yeah, so the headshots he's aware of, which is if I can get his ending when he's sitting there listening to So there is like a radio down there eventually at some point.
Yeah, I mean, Harry, why didn't you find the radio before then?
Yeah. But it's just like they're giving all this like information. He's like, well, they got that right. Got that right. Like, it's a little late now. Yeah, so Harry and Tom's entrance is the same. They were down in the basement the whole time, down in the cellar. And they were scared to come up when Barbara first arrived. And then eventually they do come up, and Harry and Ben are immediately sworn enemies.
Oh, yeah. They were never going to get along. Never going to get along.
Ben's like, tells him to his face, is like, I don't like you. It's like, you're mean to women, and I don't appreciate that. I mean, maybe me in an alternate universe would like punch him in the face or something, but I highly doubt it. That's not me.
Yeah. I feel like there were reasons that Harry doesn't want to admit about why he didn't like Ben. I didn't get as much of the racial tension in this one as I feel like I got in the first one when it came to Harry and Ben, but I still think there was underlying tension.
It kind of felt like it was there.
Yeah.
A little bit. Yeah.
It felt like it was there.
There was one line, something, because Ben mentions, because of the way he's dressed, oh, I don't think you're a neighbor, you're not from around here. And like the way he talks, he's kind of got more of like a, northern accent a little bit more. And so he does, and then he shoots back to him something is like, well, you don't look like you're a neighbor either. Like there was a little dig at him, something.
Yeah.
And then, the first floor versus cellar debate and argument kind of plays out the same. Again, with Ben not wanting to have the cellar just become a death trap. We get your boss down there, I'm boss up here. Tom and Judy, or Judy Rose now, as I said, didn't have to make that decision and stay with Ben and Barbara. Harry gets all pissed off about it and locks him and his family down in the cellar. Like, we get a lot of those same beats.
Yeah, and I think having Tom and Judy come up and start, like, helping with the reinforcing of everything, making sure the doors, basically, they were nailing doors over the windows is what they were doing.
Mm-hmm. Which, boarding up windows and doors with other interior doors makes a lot more sense than just all of the random planks of wood lying around a house for no reason. So I like that there's some thoughts to that. I was like, yes, that's well done.
Yeah, it works really well. Except that the noise attracts attention.
Yeah, see, the downside. Which is what's funny is like that whole argument, because, you even get the whole thing where he's just like, I'm not going down there. Everybody's tired of Harry shit. Even Helen, we can't stay down here. We got to go upstairs. And it's just like, man, in every universe of this movie, the cellar plan sucks. But I'm like, but does it though? Because even in the original film, the only reason Ben survives the night, at least, is because he ends up locking himself down in the cellar. So honestly, the cellar ends up being kind of a safe place. I mean, Ben ends in the cellar in this movie as well. And probably would have been fine if it wasn't, because he died from wounds inflicted from Harry. So it's like...
Yeah.
So the cellar plan actually ends up probably being... That's the worst part about it, is when you finish these movies and you go, shit, Harry probably was actually right.
Nope, I still think the attic was the safe place to go. And I think when he actually shot Helen, that also attracted attention to him being in the basement, even with the door closed. I'm surprised the door survived, like the zombies. Yeah. But that's something different with the arc of this, with Harry and Helen and Sarah, not Karen.
Yeah, Sarah, not as little of a girl as the original movie, and it threw me for a little bit. Not that it really matters, but it was just like, what? Our tiny little 6 foot tall girl.
Yes.
No, I did have to look into it. Heather Mazur, who played, because I was like, okay, how old was she at the filming of this? Because I don't want to be, and it was like, she was like 13 or 14. So it's like, I was like, okay, I'll work with that. Because at first it was just like, that's an adult. But like, there was maybe just the angle where she's laying. Because then when she gets up later, you're like, okay, no, she's a young teenager. Like, okay.
Yeah, but she looked taller. But sometimes, you know what, Pake, girls mature faster and grow taller faster than boys. Yep. So it's not out of the realm
No,
a possibility.
Also, I don't think I've ever heard someone call anyone a yo-yo as an insult before, but it's clearly Harry's favorite go-to insult, so...
You're a bunch of yo-yos! Oh my gosh. But they do tell us that Sarah has been bitten. Like, and that's not something that worries anyone at that time, because they're just, oh, she's injured, she's hurt, so that's one thing. But she's got a wound on her arm. She's burning up, like, with fever. And this Helen wasn't as helpless, I think, as the last Helen, but I also think the last Helen was also kind of, like, great because she did stand up to her husband. This Helen definitely was standing up to her husband, getting angry. We didn't get a troweling in this movie.
No. Helen died by throat bite, but the trowel did make a celebrity cameo appearance.
Yes.
So it was good.
I like those little nods. Like, it wasn't the same, but they made sure to kind of tie it in some way, because you get the troll on the wall and the blood splatter on it, and it's like, okay, yeah. They're trying to show us that we respect what happened in the original movie. It's not Harry that dies before his wife in this one. Helen actually goes downstairs and is bitten on the throat by Sarah. Because Harry's upstairs too busy, looting TVs and being ridiculous. I'm like, everyone else is trying to make the house safer, and there he is trying to get TVs.
Yeah. I mean, Barbara's downstairs keeping that thing on her, staying strapped.
She is.
It's like, hell yeah. While Judy Rose has taken over the role of being scared of and frozen by things.
Yes.
But even she doesn't stay under that forever. Like, no. It's funny because she's like, like screaming bloody murder while also still hammering. It's like, take Barbara from the first movie, from the original. See, you can be terrified, but still do stuff.
Exactly. And no gun was going to get pulled through the broken window on Barbara's watch.
No.
She held on to that thing. It was not going to go down the same way. And she, was shooting them in the head like she's a natural at shooting a gun. Which made her incredibly effective. Yeah.
So I know Harry, drops the TV, messing with Ben, but I was like, he says he wasn't trying to take it downstairs, but it definitely seems to me like he was. But then he was like, there's no reception down there. Why would I? I was like, well, he makes a good point. So then why would he? But it really felt like he was. I don't know.
I know. That's what I thought too.
I also was fully convinced that's what he was doing. So
because you don't trust him. From Ben's point of view, I agree with Ben. You can't trust him. I don't like him. There's just something weird about him, and I don't trust him.
Yeah. The fuel pump plan is the same. They go through with that, this time finding keys, not the key, to the fuel pump. Of course it was down there with Harry the whole time. Useless. But they find keys in Regis' body, like, not in his body, but in his pocket on his person. And just like, a lot of smart thinking by Barb to like just head outside, because I think that was her plan. She was like, we keep looking for these keys inside. I bet he has them on him. So yeah, they go out there. I love Hero Barb. Hero Barb is cool.
And she honestly was right. They should have left.
Yeah, she just wanted to leave. She's like, while we can still get past a smaller number of slow-moving zombies. Are they slow-moving, Chief? Yeah. They're dead.
They're all messed up.
we can just go. And nobody's listening to her. We gotta have the one random naked woman zombie. It's tradition, I guess. Mm-hmm. So gotta have that. We do get the Tom and Judy dying in the truck explosion. The same here. This one was an equally stupid mistake, but it made more sense.
Yes, that's what I wanted to point out too. I felt like it did make more sense.
He didn't just take the pump and just start showering the truck with it.
Right. Right. What he was trying to do he was trying to get the lock off so that they could get the gas. Yeah. And so it just ended up being an explosion. Yeah. And both of them dying.
A much bigger and cooler explosion, too. Which was fun.
I think it was better overall.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And the plot, the way that they got to that point, because Ben was with them, he fell off the truck on their way, and it just made it convenient for, he's not quite back with them. He's not quite back with them yet when it happens. I feel like when Barbara saw that, that's when she knew she was gonna leave. Like, she's like,
these people are fucking helpless. I'm done. I'm gone. Yeah, that makes sense. But like I said, they fixed a lot of, like, I guess, like, little complaints. So, like, those little things I just kind of poked fun at, even in the original. They, like, made those things. I was like, okay, Barbara's just gonna drive into a tree. Looks like on purpose. It's like, okay, well, we have the car go into it backwards, just rolling down the hill. You can't do anything about that. But even, like, the explosion with the truck, like, it makes more sense. Even, like, the power outage in the house is explained. It's very quick and easily. It's just like, the zombies are trying to get in and they start pulling wires. The end. Yep. Like, okay, got it. Makes sense.
It did make a lot more sense, and I appreciated that. I appreciated that they explained things more. But I also go back to one of the things that makes the original so cool is the fact that sometimes those questions weren't answered, and that's because of the way filmmaking was at the time. That's the way that this film was presented back then. But I like that they didn't just do a shot-for-shot remake. Because there are movies out there that are shot-for-shot remakes of other movies. And I think having the little twists here made it more enjoyable. Because at some point you realized, okay, well, it's an effect to have your heroine, who is catatonic in the first movie, become badass in the second movie. What's the effect that that's going to have on everything else?
Yeah. And I really liked the scene of after Helen's death, but then Sarah, the daughter, coming upstairs and Harry seeing her, and then this idea of we need to kill the zombie version of her, and him not wanting to do that. And so when Ben goes to do that, it creates the shootout between the two of them. And it reminds me of a scene in my favorite zombie movie, and we've covered in stuff, the Dawn remake. There's a very, like, pointed and, like, heavy and impactful scene in that movie that is based around the fact of, like, somebody defending the undeath or unlife of a loved one that they're not ready to let go of, even though clearly they have turned and it's too late.
The emotion that it brings out, I mean, to me, that's the most emotion I saw from the Harry character the entire time, when he's wrestling with the idea of having to shoot his daughter. It reminds me of the governor in The Walking Dead. Mm-hmm. Just trying to rationalize it, knowing that it needs to happen, knowing he's not going to do it, but not wanting anyone else to do it either. Like, I think part of him wants to just let her go outside and go off and be with the other zombies. But I think he also knows that that's not the right thing to do either, but he can't bring himself to do it. And he doesn't want anyone else to do it either.
Yeah.
And so they're stuck in this circle. And I think it ends up being, we get the shootout between Harry and Ben. And then I think it's Barbara that ends up pulling the trigger on Sarah.
Yeah. And then, Harry goes to the attic, Ben goes to the cellar, and Barbara fucks off. She's like, I'm done with these people.
I do have to say this, though. When she says goodbye to Ben, why the fuck didn't she close the door? She left the door wide open.
Yeah. I mean, yeah.
I mean, why didn't you close the door?
Mm-hmm.
It might have, I don't know. I don't know what it would have done, but, I felt like you should have closed the door.
And then we got just a lot of Z-roll.
Yes.
What do I call it? Just zombies being zombies. doing zombie stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Zombies be shambling. Zombies be snacking.
Yep. And you get Barbara going away from the farm and what she sees, like the buffet and everything. And she comes upon this truck that she thinks is abandoned, and she realizes it isn't. She also finds Johnny in the back of it. Mm-hmm. But she's got these good old boys that she's come across.
I've got them the same way, because Ben had referred to, the good old boys who were rounding up zombies and putting them in the back of a truck and stuff. So it's like, yeah, they're just collecting zombie bodies, doing some night hunting.
Yep. Little
That's
night
what
hunting.
they're up to. And
I was a little concerned for her at first.
Yeah, it kind of gives you some vibes of like, can these people be trusted? But I think, and who's to say? And I don't want to speculate, but I think, she held her own and seemed to be kind of tough. And I think they kind of welcomed her in at that point. They're like, okay, she can hang. I mean, say what you will about rednecks, but they can survive and thrive in a zombie apocalypse. I mean, this is the most fun they've ever had when she wakes up the next day and there's like this camp and they've got food trucks and beer being served and they've got a little like wrestling ring. They're doing...
Oh my God.
The Coliseum. I mean, they've got zombie gladiators and they're just like doing so. I was like, say what they're having the most fun they've ever had in their life. There's new sports and new games to be invented and you're going to take advantage of it.
Yep. Target practice is going on the hill with the zombies tied to the trees. They've got a pig that's roasting. I mean, They're totally thrilled.
Living their best life. This is the best thing's ever happened to any of them.
Yeah. And as they inch closer, they end up at the house, the farmhouse, where Barbara knows Ben was when she left. And he didn't go with her because he had been mortally wounded, basically, without medical attention. And we get Ben coming out of the basement as a zombie.
Yeah. Once again, tragically, Ben does not make it through the movie, but fucking Harry lived. Well, not if Barbara has anything to say about it.
That's right. You came back! And she just looked at him. After having seen Ben like that, I think she knew that Harry was responsible for that.
Oh, yeah, of course.
And she did not hesitate. She looks at him, she shoots him, and says, another one for the fire.
Which is a callback to the original in the ending. Which, yeah, it's a fun little twist on the ending. With Barbara actually surviving the movie. And headcanon, I'll say she just finds a new life as a badass zombie-killing apocalypse queen.
Yep. And I'm down for it, right? I mean, I think it works. I think that it definitely works. It reminds me a little bit of Liz in The Purge Anarchy, where she decides to stay after Shane is killed and purge. Like, I feel like that's Barbara was going to do the same thing. Like, this is what she wants to be part of. She is going to be part of this group for now. Like, she's a lot stronger than Johnny gave her credit for. And I like that in this situation, she used everything that was against her and turned it into an opportunity to be a badass. Because she could have honestly just been catatonic staring at doilies, but she wasn't. She was a fighter, and that's something that Ben told her early on, is that, you gotta fight. You gotta fight. And so she's like, yeah, this is where I am. I am a fighter. Like, she's gonna push back. She's gonna be who she needs to be. I couldn't tell if she was repulsed by what everyone was doing. I kind of think that when she woke up at the encampment and saw, like, the wrestling ring and then the target practice that was going on from the Zeds that were hanging in the tree, that she thought it was ridiculous. But then I also thought that maybe she just dismissed it as, this is the situation, this is the world we're in right now, so whatever.
She said, we are them and they're us.
They're us, yeah. Yeah. I mean, she's right. That's the truth. So, do you think that making the film in color took away from the vibe of the original? Like, taking it this step and putting it in color for this version? Do you think it would have been better if it was in black and white, or do you think it was okay the way it is?
I like it the way it is. I don't think it would have been better for being in black and white.
Yeah, I do too.
Allow them to do a couple extra things with it.
Yeah. I also think that the original, being in black and white, it needed to be. I think, given what they were doing in the story, I think having it in black and white made it impactful. I think having this one in color with the differences made it impactful. So I think that that's definitely the case. Mm-hmm. Second question, is there one you like better?
That's a hard question because it just really depends. Because I think, yes, the answer is yes. I think I like this version better for like something that I would just like enjoy watching beginning to end. Because my little brain is because of the podcast brain, I've picked up on so many little things on the first one that I will poke fun at. But also the first one is forever and always so iconic and classic that like it definitely holds its own place for sure. But if I have to like say like which one is more enjoyable as a whole to watch, this one.
Yeah, there were things I like about both of them. I think I prefer the black and white version. The original. However, if I could meld the two together, I would want Barbara from 1990 in the 1968 version. And I would want to see how that affects everything there.
Yeah.
I think the 90 version is the one that I would have on in the background if I was doing other things. A concept that I know you do not understand. However, I've seen it enough times that it makes sense to me. I think that, either one I'll watch, but I like Badass Barb. That's what I'm going to say. Mm-hmm. I like her. I think she's great.
Yes.
And I love that Tony Todd was in this version, too. And this got him started on his horror journey because it was 2 years later that he did Candyman. And scared us to death forever.
Mm-hmm. Correct. Yes. Affirmative. Indeed. I knew, it's like I said, this be an easy one today, and I like that. The double dips, the second part, is always kind of fun, though, because it ends up being a little bit more comparing it to the other one, while also talking about some of the differences, and it is its own thing, but definitely having that comparison be a big part of it. And yeah, it's fun. I'm glad we ended up just kind of randomly stumbling across another double dip, because it's been a while, and
me too. I think that we were due for a double dip. I think doing this one, especially with today being Oscar Day and all the madness and focus that I know is on that, I think this was super easy for us to do and talk about.
Yeah, and we did Dawn as a double dip.
We did?
We're going to come back to do Night, which means we're going to have to do Day as a double dip.
There is no Day remake.
With Nick Cannon, there is. It exists.
No. Oh, God. Yes, I know he's in a movie. It's got Mina Savari in it.
Yeah, that is Day of the Dead.
Oh, fuck. Okay, just so you know, it's not a remake. Oh, it says it is No, it is not a remake. It is not a remake. It isn't even similar in any way whatsoever.
It shares title and character names. That's the only similarity. That's what's... But it is...
No. Pake.
I didn't say it was great. I'm just saying it exists and we could continue doing this. Ving Rhames is in it as well.
I do like Ving Rhames. And honestly, I've seen it and it's not terrible. Oh my God, they do have some of the same names. Okay. I never personally considered Nick Cannon's Day of the Dead to be a remake. Mm-hmm. Wikipedia disagrees with me, but it's not even in the same... Like, it's not the same, but okay. Okay. I have seen that movie, too, like, a bunch of times. The Nick Cannon one. Because it's not terrible. It's just I don't consider it to be the same. But we could definitely cover it.
You can. Stick with tradition and eventually double dip those two. And then they are vastly different in story, so...
Yes.
It leads to, I don't know, more conversation? I don't know. We'd have to see. I mean, because the two Dawns aren't very similar either, other than they take place in a mall.
Yeah.
That's about it.
It's a different story.
Yeah. I'm not saying we're going to do that, like, next week, but...
No.
In the not too distant future. Next Sunday AD, perhaps. I don't know. We'll see.
You've been spending a lot of time in that place, haven't you?
Mm-hmm.
Wonderful.
Off and on. Yeah. There goes the feedback phone to save whatever was going on right there. All right.
Okay. All right.
Go get that answered and go see what people had to say about this one.
All right.
All right. And of course, we do have some feedback for this one. I'm excited to get to that. Of course, we got some fun ones. We'll start with Catherine, as always, writing in, saying, "They're coming to get you, Barbara. There's a lot I respect about the original, but I enjoy the remake a little more. The makeup is fantastic, and Ben's ending is still tragic. After seeing survivors using zombies as entertainment, I agree with Barbara when she said the living are little better than the dead."
Yeah, I'd have to agree with that. Well, Connor says, "Yes, I was hoping for this, and Pake hasn't seen it, right?" Well, he has now.
Oh, I have now. Yeah.
I hope he is as shocked as I was the first time watching this to see what a badass Barbara is in this movie. Also, R.I.P. Tony Todd. Always hits me when I see him on screen.
Mm-hmm. And lastly, here we have one from Jason Kabassi. It says, "One of my all-time favorite zombie movies. This was the first zombie movie I saw in the theater, and I loved it. I love the simplicity of the story, the heroic leads, Barbara and Ben, and most of all, the horror of the dead reanimated into living corpses. This movie is what got me interested in zombies, which ultimately led to my love of The Walking Dead, which led to this podcast network." True story.
Wow. It took you that long, Jason. I am absolutely surprised because I was hooked on zombies when I watched Dawn of the Dead. Yeah, 1978. So I was there way, way, way back. Well, if you'd like to leave feedback like Jason, Connor, or Catherine, we are on a Discord server, the Podcastica Discord server. And we have a channel there for Run for Your Lives, so please leave your feedback there. We're nearing the end of a season, so if anyone has suggestions for what we should cover next season, be sure to leave those there as well. You can also find us on Facebook and Instagram at Run for Your Lives Podcast, or you can email us at runforyourlivespodcast@gmail.com. You can go to runforyourlivespodcast.com for all the links you'll ever need. And if you're enjoying the show, tell your friends. We are available on all the podcast players, including Apple, Spotify, YouTube, and more. If you feel so inclined, give us a review on Apple Podcasts, as that is the best way to share the love and get us out there even more. We really appreciate it.
Absolutely, we do. Of course, speaking of sharing the love, I gotta give those shout outs to things going on in the podcast universe around us, Podcastica universe around us even, and beyond. A lot of good stuff going on for you to listen to right now on Podcastica. Of course, on the Walking Dead cast or Cast of Us, whichever one it is currently. I know it's going back to Walking Dead cast soon or now. I don't know. I've got to check. Walking Dead Cast of Us. But the flagship show, Jason's been rocking stuff over there. Still working with Lucy to be doing the Walking Dead rewatch. They're on season 5, episode 14 this week. So go check that out over on the rewatch episodes. Also on Wax Episodic, they've been covering Fallout Season 2, which is wrapping up, and I'm very sad about that, because we need more than 8 episodes. I don't know why that's all they want to give us. They're so mean. Come on, Amazon Prime. Anyway, but episode 7 is out, so you can get the coverage of that over on Wax Episodic. Hear them covering Fallout over there. Also, Dragon Cast running right now with A Knight of the Seven Kingdoms coverage on HBO Max. And I'm loving that show so much. Dunk and Egg are brilliant and beautiful, and I love them so much. And the whole show has just been so much fun.
The last episode especially, really, like, a lot happened, and I'm all in for it. I just want to see what happens next.
Yeah, and if you're listening to this the day we release this, then the next episode is out now or will be tonight. I'm not sure exactly the release schedule, but yeah, they're a little early release. So if you weren't aware and you're watching Night of the Seven Kingdoms, it's not on Sunday night this weekend because of the superb owl. They are moving it to Friday night, so, or maybe even Friday morning. I don't know the release. A Friday release. So it's up now or will be soon. So just in case you're watching Night of the Seven Kingdoms and weren't aware, you got a new episode ready for you. Now or soon. So surprise, congrats. But yeah, their coverage over there on Dragon Cast has been great. Rennie, Wendy, and Veronica covering that. So definitely go check that out if you haven't. And then on Still Slaying, another rewatch podcast, but it's some old school Buffy-verse stuff, Buffy the Vampire Slayer and Angel episodes, doing recaps and rewatches of favorite episodes across those shows. So this week you can go over to Still Slaying to check out Penny and Dodie covering Angel, Season 1, Episode 19 this week. So check that out. And then, as I say, beyond Podcastica, because our good friends over at Pirate Core Entertainment Podcast Network always doing some really great stuff. Becky and Mandy over on What's On Tonight have been crushing it as they've been covering The Pit Season 2. So they're on Episode 4 this week, so you can go check out their Pit coverage, The Pit. They've just been doing a fantastic job, not just with covering the episodes, but then getting all kinds of interviews and really cool stuff over there. Super, diving way into that, and they're fantastic, so go give them some love. And then over on Panels to Pixels, they are covering the Disney Plus series Wonder Man, the new Marvel show. They released all 8 episodes at once, so you can go and binge the whole season. And go check out Panels coverage over there, Panels to Pixels. And also our good friends over at TV Podcast Industries covering Wonder Man as well, so you can check out their coverage at TV Podcast Industries. You want more of me and Daphne, make sure to check out our other podcast, the Buffalo Podcast. We're hanging out with our good friends Jeff and Jerry every week, being ridiculous, as always, trying to make each other laugh, playing weird, creative games, just having a good time, hanging out, doing our thing, being buds. And it's a good time. We're having a blast over there, and we'd like you to come join us. But yeah, that's about it. Make sure to go check out all of that fun stuff, and when you're good with that, then you know next week you can come back right here to Run for Your Lives, and we will have something new, fun, fresh for you. And we will be kicking off our annual Oscars season episodes next week. Daphne, how are we kicking that off? What are we doing?
Well, when a school bus is caught in the path of a fast-moving wildfire, the driver and a teacher fight to keep the children alive as escape routes vanish. Yes, as Pake said, it is Oscar season, and we are discussing Paul Greengrass's 2025 film, The Lost Bus.
Yes, up for Best Visual Effects, so definitely check that out. So the next batch of episodes to round out the rest of this season are all going to be Oscar-nominated films for this year. And yeah, we'll talk about nominations and our thoughts and stuff on them when we cover them, so stay tuned to figure out which movies we're jumping into to wrap up this season.
And with that, we've reached the end of another fun episode. Thanks, everyone, for listening. I'm Daphne.
And I'm Pate.
And if you have to run, you better run for your lives.
Bye-bye.